All right, let's dive right into this explainer. If you're looking for the ultimate forgiving houseplant to finally cure that dreaded black thumb, you are in exactly the right place. Today we're doing a deep dive on the amazing Echeveria.
Listen, if you've ever, accidentally killed 3 plants in a row and just started to believe you're completely cursed with a black thumb, let me stop you right there. It honestly happens to the absolute best of us. But today, we're looking at one very specific succulent that is pretty much your perfect path to plant redemption.
Say hello to Echeveria elegans, or as most people call it, the Mexican Snowball. This is this beautifully rugged, palm-sized rosette succulent that has these amazing chalky blue-white leaves. And why is it so incredibly tough? Well, just look at its native habitat. It comes from the harsh, shaded limestone cliffs of central Mexico, sitting way up in the mountains, like 5,500 to 9,000 feet up. So this plant is literally built from the ground up to survive some really tough conditions, which means, for us, it will absolutely thrive on a little indoor neglect. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll hit the holy trinity of survival. Then, environment and upkeep. After that, blooms and babies, followed by a quick troubleshooting section, and we'll wrap it all up with some pro tips and a conclusion. All right, section 1, the holy trinity of survival: light, water, and soil. Light is, without a doubt, the single biggest decision you are going to make for this plant. If you look on the left, you'll see a perfectly healthy rosette. See how tight it is? It's got that chalky blue-white color with just a faint pink blush right on the edges. That is exactly what happens when it gets its ideal 4 to 6 hours of direct sun. Now look on the right. That is what happens in low light. It completely loses its shape and just stretches upward into this sad, leggy green pole with widely spaced leaves, basically because it's desperately reaching for the sun. To keep that beautiful tight cup shape, you really want to put this guy in a south or west-facing window. Now, this is wild, but overwatering actually kills way more Echeverias indoors than literally every other care mistake combined. You have to practice tough love here. A thirsty plant, it just gets slightly wrinkled bottom leaves and maybe a softer rosette. And honestly, it bounces right back within a single day of a deep soak. No big deal. But an overwater plant, well, the leaves turn this gross translucent yellow, they go completely mushy, and they'll peel off with basically zero resistance. You want to wait a good 10 to 14 days between waterings, use a wooden chopstick to double check that the soil is totally bone dry from top to bottom before you even think about soaking it again.
When it comes to soil, you're going to want an exact equal parts gritty recipe. We're talking 1/3 standard succulent mix, 1/3 coarse pumice or perlite, and 1/3 coarse sand or fine gravel. Here's the tip. Most store-bought cactus mixes were actually still way too peaty for an Echeveria straight out of the bag. The real test? If you squeeze a damp handful of your finished mix, it should completely fall apart the exact instant you open your fingers. It needs to drain in seconds to mimic those rocky Mexican cliffs we talked about.
Moving right along to section 2, environment and upkeep. Everything from temperature to pruning. The good news here is normal room temperatures, so 65 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, are absolutely perfect during active growth. As for humidity, basic household levels around 30 to 45% are totally ideal. But please keep them far, far away from those cute sealed glass terrariums. I know they look great on social media, but they are basically humid death traps that will rot your Echeveria in a matter of weeks. Feeding is incredibly simple. Just a half-strength low-nitrogen fertilizer maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And pruning, it's practically non-existent. You literally just pull off any crispy, shriveled bottom leaves every once in a while to keep things tidy, and you're good to go.
Okay, section 3, blooms and babies. We're talking flowers and propagation.
So you might be wondering, how do I get those incredible flowers? The absolute secret to unlocking Echeveria blooms is all about a mandatory winter rest. Here is the process. Step 1. During winter, you have to give the mature plant about 8 to 10 weeks of a cool, almost bone-dry rest. We're talking temperatures around 45 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Step 2. In early spring, move it back into the warmth and just start gentle watering again. Step 3. By late spring, you'll be rewarded with these stunning, slender pink stems completely covered in vivid coral orange bells. It's totally worth the wait. Honestly, if your healthy indoor plant isn't blooming, it's almost definitely because it missed that cool winter rest.
Now what if you want infinite plants? Well, this step-by-step leaf propagation method is practically foolproof. First up, gently twist a plump, healthy lower leaf side to side until it pops off cleanly. Second, you let that leaf just sit in a warm, shaded spot for 3 to 5 days. This lets the wound completely callus over. Third, lay it totally flat on top of some dry, gritty mix. Important note here, do not bury it, just lay it on top. Finally, just wait. Mist the soil lightly, but only once you start seeing tiny pink roots appear. Remember, every single healthy fallen leaf is like a 80% chance at a completely free baby plant. It's awesome.
All right, section 4, troubleshooting. These are just some easily fixable plant hurdles. Nobody likes pests, but the treatments for the most common ones are incredibly straightforward. If you spot mealybugs, they basically look like tiny white cotton tufts hiding deep down in the tight center folds of the rosette. Just dab them with a cotton swab dipped in 70% rubbing alcohol. Super easy. If you see green clusters of aphids popping up on your new flower stems, a sharp blast of water will knock them right off. And what about the fine webbing from spider mites that you might get during hot, dry summers? A really quick rinse and a pass with some insecticidal soap clears them right up. Simple, effective, and totally manageable.
We absolutely do have to talk about the silent killer though, root rot. By the time the base of the stem feels soft and those translucent yellow lower leaves start peeling off, the rot has usually climbed up well past the roots. It sounds bad, right? But the cool thing is, you are completely empowered to rescue it. All you do is take a sterilized blade and slice cleanly through the stem right above the rot. You're essentially beheading the clean top of the plant. Let that newly cut surface callus in the shade for at least 5 days, and then just lay it right back on some fresh, dry grit so it can reroot. Boom! You've just saved your plant.
Finally, section 5, pro tips and our conclusion for guaranteed success. Let's run through these final pro tips. First, especially during your first year, use a terracotta pot. The clay naturally wicks the moisture right out, giving you a massive safety margin against accidental overwatering. Second, try top dressing the soil with pale gravel. Not only does it look fantastic, but it actually reflects sunlight back up under the rosette. Third, always quarantine any new succulents you buy for a month. You really don't want sneaky root bugs invading your whole collection. But listen, the most important tip of all, never, ever wipe the chalky white bloom off the leaves. That coating is called farina, and it acts as the plant's permanent natural sunscreen and water repellent. Once you rub it off, it will literally never grow back on that leaf, so hands off.
If you take away absolutely nothing else, the core philosophy of Echeveria Care is this: lean, dry, always. If you're standing there holding the watering can and you are not 100% sure whether to water, just wait 3 more days. That right there is your golden rule.
So just look at everything we've covered today. With the proper sunlight, perfectly gritty soil, and a whole lot of tough love with that watering can, you are fully equipped for this. So, what do you say? Are you ready to grow your own indoor desert? I really hope this explainer has given you the knowledge and, honestly, the newfound confidence to head down to your local plant nursery and give the Mexican Snowball a try. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and hey, enjoy your new greenery.